West, do you have the odds pulled up and all that or no? Okay. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome, College Football DFS. Pete Cole here from YourFieldersChoice.com. We got a show tonight for you for Thursday night and Friday night. I actually got a co-host tonight. I got my man Wes here with me tonight. What's up, Wes?
What's going on, Pete? How's it going, man?
Hanging in there. I'm just doing that grind. I pulled Wes in here. So Wes has been, for a few years now, has been doing MLB shows with me, NFL shows with me, showdowns, primetime games. Now I'm pulling him in here to do some college football. But because we got a lot going on. It's a big week. We got 4 games on Thursday, 4 games on Friday, and then a main slate Saturday. I think it was 12, 13 games, which we'll have a show for that tomorrow night. But welcome, YourFieldersChoice.com. Check us out, free Discord. It's just discord.gg/YourFieldersChoice. $25 a month the first 2 months if you want to check us out. Small sports is our specialty, but of course, NFL and MLB, this is our flagships. But if DraftKings covers it, we run it, and we have an article for it. We have top plays for it. We have a cheat sheet for it. We do everything. So, really check us out. There's a lot going on this week. Before we get into college football, we have NHL starting. If you're actually in our Discord, you can see our winning lineups room, and guys are just totally crushing. Devin, our NHL guy, actually one of my bosses here, is doing a really good job at NHL. Pretty much cashing. I'm seeing green cash every night. NBA started tonight, so that's obviously good shit. You're our Wes is our golf guy. He also does our Korean baseball. He does golf. What's going on with golf here now? You started tonight, right? You said
this week, PGA and LPGA locked at 7 o'clock or 7:30 Eastern and 7 o'clock Eastern time, because the men and women are both overseas. The women are in Korea, and the men are in Japan for the Zozo Championship. I had some good content out. It looks like most of the plays I wrote up were pretty high ownership, so we'll see how it goes.
Now, do you do showdown write-ups for the single days since it starts tonight for like Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Well,
or no?
I won't be able to this week. I'll be at work when before, and we'll be able to do an article.
It's your start time, of course.
Since locks at 6 o'clock my time, I don't get home from work till 5:30. So
yeah, that's right. They're over in Asia. So, but what's our golf guy? Good stuff. And also they've been actually crushing. I've seen Chris, one of his partners in golf. I seen he took down a GBP a week or two ago. We got NASCAR coming up this weekend. Xfinity on Saturday, the Kansas City Lottery Sunday, the Hollywood Casino 400. My man Eric Big E does that. He'll have all the content out for that. Soccer. We have Adam. Also, we have a new guy that's actually started for us, Riley. I don't have his Twitter in front of me here, though, but Riley's a big time better.
Riley Pick 123 or something.
That's what it is.
Riley Pick 123, I think.
So check him out. He's been doing a really good job so far, doing the UCL slates, and then we got EPL on Saturday.
Big E. Back to Big E. He's been really killing the CSGO too.
Yeah, yes. Actually, I just popped up the winning lineups room, and every morning I'm seeing. And I don't think a lot of people that was like a big deal during COVID. Even I played it. I have no idea what CSGO even means, but he's still writing daily content. He's got a really crazy cheat sheet out, all kinds of cool data and stuff, and they're cashing every day. So that's like one of them niche sports that we cover. So you don't have to know about it. I didn't know about it, and just pretty much look at his top plays, slot them in there, your DK lineups, and cash, because they're cashing every day. So yeah, that's a good point you brought up with a CSGO. We have tennis cheat sheets and all that. Chris does that. Chris also does NBA. Of course, NFL. We have our NFL. There should be a NFL video on demand out today or tomorrow. The show before the show. They have a Sunday live stream an hour before lock. Friday, there's going to be a soccer live stream. I'm not sure the time. I'm thinking around 6 p.m., but actually Adam and Riley are doing a soccer live stream for the EPL slate on Saturday. And like I said, and tomorrow, me and Adam will be doing the college football main slate at 9:30 p.m. So it's best part of the year. It's really cool. And now I'm realizing we're already in week 8 in college football. Before you know, it's Halloween, then it's Thanksgiving, and next you know, college football is over with, and I'm going to be starting college basketball. So college hoops is up in, I think, 20 days, which is crazy. Less than 3 weeks, you got college basketball started, which is like my main sport. But so much going on right now. This is the best part of the year for DFS. So check us out, because I don't think you can beat $25 a month the first 2 months for every single sport, no matter what it is, we cover it. So we're here for college football. And we actually have a showdown slate going on right now. I'm actually doing pretty good. I seen the last I looked at, Coastal Carolina just ran one in. So we should do good on that tonight. But we're going to be dealing with 4-game slate for Thursday. And we got a 4-game slate on Friday. So let's get into the Thursday slate. It's actually not a bad slate. We have 2 pretty high scoring games. We got Tulane at SMU. SMU is a high powered offense. Over under 70.5 for that game. Louisiana Lafayette is visiting Arkansas State. Arkansas State, the worst defense in the country by far, passing and rushing. Louisiana is over 2 touchdown favorite, 18 points. And then we got 2 other games. We got Florida Atlantic at UNC Charlotte. My man Chris Reynolds, quarterback for Charlotte, 57 over under. And then we got San Jose State visiting UNLV. That's the lowest over under the night out of 45. So implied scores. The two teams you're going to look at tomorrow night: Louisiana Lafayette 43.75. They're the top implied scoring team of the night. And then SMU right below them at 42. And anybody else is in Florida Atlantic at 32, and anybody else in the 20s. So as you can see, I'm going to be looking at mostly players from SMU if we can fit them in. And what we're going to kind of do, I guess, is just go by position by position. And I'll give my top plays, pretty much when we're talking plays, we're talking cash. If I think it's GBP, I'll throw it out there. And then, Wes, if you have any plays, anybody you like, just on the GPP end, just interrupt me, cut me off, whatever, tell me to shut the hell up and give me your plays. So let's get right into it. Quarterback tomorrow night, Thursday night. And the highest quarterback on the slate, highest salary quarterback on the slate I got Memphis on my mind Friday night. Is the kid from hold on. I'm on Friday night. I'm sorry, guys.
Tanner Mordecai.
Yeah, I got my day script. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Let's start over here.
Tanner Mordecai, I can't say. Mordecai is the highest prize player on the slate at $10K. So far, he looks like he's been killing it this year with 26 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions, averaging about 34.5 fantasy points a game. Let's see. His average passer rating is 175.5. And that's damn good. That's 6th in the nation, actually. That's pretty good. He's averaging a little over 300 yards a game and has had at least 2 touchdowns in every game, if I'm looking at this right.
And I haven't actually built any lineups yet. The way we're looking at it, though, because we have the Levi Lewis and Louisiana Lafayette going up against Arkansas State at a lower price, probably Tanner, this kid from SMU is probably more of a GPP play because of the price, unless we could fit in some other value somewhere else. But raw projections, raw points is obviously the top 5. So, SMU's 6-0. They're ranked top 25. He's actually, maybe you might just said it, but he's actually, he's tied for the national lead with 26 touchdowns. You said that? He's a national leader in touchdowns with 26. But Tulane's defense is ranked 115 and a 130. So we have some bad defenses tomorrow night. We have Tulane, Arkansas State. So Tulane's allowing 277 yards in the air. Bad. And pretty much Mordecai is probably one of the best receiving corps in the nation. So I would expect another big game. The only thing that would possibly keep him out of cash is Levi Lewis, who we'll get to in a second, being 8-5 against Arkansas State. So kind of like put him in your little box for cash/GDP. But overall, he's the best raw projected guy in the slate by far. But he's also 10K. So, yeah. And that brings us to Levi Lewis. I think Levi Lewis is the best play of the slate. He's 8-5. He's $1,500 less than Mordecai. And this Arkansas State defense is horrible. I mean, I had some numbers came up. They're ranked dead last in the nation. Coastal Carolina just totally destroyed them. They're giving up an average of 584 yards per game, 315.7 yards coming from the air. And here's the best stat. They're giving up nearly 10 yards per play. That's a first down every single damn play. Team is playing against Arkansas State. So to me, I mean, Levi Lewis has been around. To me, you lock him in. He's 8-5. Do you have any stats on Lewis in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's through 6 games, he's got a 62% completion percentage, about 1,300 yards, averaging about 7.5 per completion. He's only averaging 200, a little less than 220 yards per game. But he's only thrown for 8 touchdowns, but he's only given up 2 interceptions. And he's had 100 rushing yards in the past 3 games and 1 touchdown.
He's had you're right. He's had like an up and down year. Now, last week they had the big game against Appalachian State, which kind of like brought tonight's game when Coastal Carolina Appalachian State down a notch because they was expecting to be a huge game. But Lewis came in and knocked them off, and they totally dominated. Surprised a lot of people. Totally dominated App State. And after losing to Texas, they struggled. They're barely able to beat Nicholls State, FCS, Georgia Southern, South Alabama, all games that they're favored. The only dominant game was against Ohio. But last week, Lewis had one of the best games of his career. But he made plays and kept drives alive, put Louisiana constantly in a position to score, and then let guys like Montrell Johnson, Chris Smith, and himself do the rest. And actually, they gave App State their worst defeat since they actually joined the Sun Belt in 2014.
Oh, wow. Another stat. He's thrown 4 touchdowns to no interceptions on the road this year. And they're at Arkansas State. So the playing on the road is not going to affect him at all.
Yeah, so to me, play per dollar, Levi Lewis to play. If you can get Mark High in and get him in. But to me, I'm building my laps on Levi Lewis. Everybody has dominated this Arkansas State defense, and why wouldn't Lewis either? So said the kid's been around. He's a vet. So they allowing 47 points per game, 584 total yards. So it's all about Levi Lewis tomorrow night. Now, there's a bunch of other quarterbacks. I love Chris Reynolds. I'm a Chris Reynolds guy. 8K though. I just think he's more of a GDP play against FAU. One guy I'm interested in is the kid from San Jose State. As long as I'm assuming he's starting again.
Nash.
You got Nicky Nash at only 5'7". You get Nash and Lewis together, you can pretty much get anybody else you want in your lineup. And he nearly upset San Diego State last week, the number 22 team in the nation. They went 2 overtimes. And now he gets you winless UNLV, who's UNLV's actually been playing well for a team that hasn't won yet. They've actually been playing some play games. But what I think I'm seeing is Nick Stark was out again. So I like Nick Nash at 5'7". Dual threat kid. He's a junior. Minimum price. I mean, his last 3 starts, he's pretty much held his own. He had a game against New Mexico, but he was 15 for 18 in the air, 193 yards, 3 TDs. Ran the ball 5 times, 34 yards. Then we got UNLV, the 126th worst pass defense in the nation, allowing 302 passing yards per game. So I wouldn't think it wouldn't take much for Nick Nash at 5'7" make value against UNLV, who's giving up 302 passing yards per game. That's pretty much my top quarterbacks: Nash, Lewis, and Nash. I'm playing per dollar. Is anybody else you like there?
The only other one, you talked about Chris Reynolds. I like him a lot. I just like his 15-3 touchdown to interception ratio and getting a few. I mean, like you said, he's more of a GPP play, but I like Chris Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds he's a stud. I mean, he had a great season 2 seasons ago, and then came back this year. And he's you call it bounce back season, maybe, but he's healthy. He's averaging over 30 fantasy points a game, 18 touchdowns. His passing volume down a little bit, but yeah, GPP. Now, one name I didn't mention, what is probably going to end up being popular, is Arkansas State. Now, James Blackman is benched, so it looks like Lane Hatcher at 5K may end up with the highest ownership. Now, Louisiana Lafayette's given up what? 219 yards in the air, which is like so. But Hatcher against Coastal Carolina, he actually came in, and when Blackman got hurt, he came in. It was garbage time, but he threw 3 touchdowns. And last year, Arkansas State's offense is really good, but right now, I mean, they're averaging 358.3 yards per game, which actually is I didn't realize they're number 1 in Sun Belt. So, and now we don't have to worry about Blackman. It's always been you can never play Hatcher. It was always Hatcher or Blackman, but now Hatcher getting the role, and he doesn't have to worry about his backups Wyatt Bagel. So, Lynn Hatcher is going to be very popular at that 5K price, probably more than Nick Nash. So we got to consider him too. So I like Nick Nash. But look at Hatcher at 5K, especially when they're throwing that much. When they're throwing that much volume at him, you can't dismiss it. So I would kind of rank them, I guess. Overall, I think if we're like making cash games, looking probably, I think Levi Lewis. I still say Nick Nash, but then Hatcher, and then Tanner Mordecai is your top play. If you can afford him, if not, he's your top GPP play at quarterback. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you got Michael Pratt from Tulane, but Pratt is, to me, just a turnover machine. Started out the season great, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions his first 3 games. But then since then, he's thrown 5 interceptions. He's caught the ball 7 times, and he's really struggling right now. So if anything, you roll him in a GVP, but that's it. Nobody else I'm even looking at there. Maybe the Perry kid from FAU, GVP, but that's it. So anybody else looking at? No, I doubt it, right?
No, that's it.
All right, let's roll over to running backs. So running backs a little bit different. So you got probably the top runner on the slate is probably going to be Chris Smith. There's no like runner on this slate that stands out that's a must play. I like Chris Smith. I've used him a lot in DFS, but we pretty much thought we saw Montreal Johnson getting work, we saw Monty Bailey getting work, and then all of a sudden, Smith last week had scored twice, carried the ball 13 times. Yeah, it was against App State. He scored twice against Appalachian State. So he's still pretty much same snap counts with the rest of these guys. But Smith has pretty much been the most consistent player, probably all these guys, out of the rest of the guys on that team. And there's no great running backs in this slate. So I think Chris Smith is probably your best runner tomorrow. Because man, even though he is sharing duties with Montreal, I would still think he's the better play. But there's not a lot out there. You got Charles Williams from UNLV, who I think is way too high. Yeah. He's coming off a huge game. 221 yards against Utah State with a touchdown. But San Jose State is a different animal than Utah State. San Jose State. You see what they did to Greg Bell last week in San Diego State. They held them to under 2 yards per carry last week. So to me, Charles Williams is only GPP, especially that price. That price is high. He's 8.2.
What about Bentley from the Mustangs? Is he going to play or is he still hurt?
That's a good point too, because everything I'm seeing, this is something we got to monitor. Of course, typical college football. Let me call Bentley's stats up.
Yeah, last week he got hurt after 2 carries and 2 yards. But before that, 153 yards, 61 yards and 11 yards and a couple receptions, and then 141 yards and a touchdown. He's catching a couple passes and 60 to 100. He can have some big games.
And this may be where we get some value, because it looks like Bentley has an I'm seeing the beat for SMU has said that Bentley or Jordan Curley did not practice last week during the bye. Bentley sat out against South Florida, and then the next week against Navy, he only I think he ran about 2 or 3 times. Yeah. So we got to monitor that. Because Bentley's still a decent play, but if he's out, or even limited, because remember they're playing Tulane here. It's not like they need him. I think a decent play is going to be Trey Siggers. He's actually filled in really well. He's had a touchdown in each game with Bentley out. So, and even if Bentley's playing, I like Siggers. Siggers is 4.9. I think he's gonna get double-digit DK points. So Bentley at 6K to me is like more of a GPP play, because you know if he's gonna be limited or not. And we know how college football is. We're not even sure if we're gonna get injury news before the game starts. But that slides in Trey Siggers at 4.9, especially if we hear before the game tomorrow night that Bentley isn't even dressed. That's an early game, right? Yeah, 7:30. So we know Bentley's not even dressed during warm-ups. I would probably turn around and put Siggers in my probably main lineup at 4.9, and that could possibly allow me to get a guy like Mordecai as a quarterback. So there's a lot of question marks, man, with these runners. You got this Ford kid for FAU, Johnny Ford. He's got decent projections, but every week the snap counts are all over the place. He's by far the best running back of that team, best playmaker. He's got 311 yards. He did see 6 targets against UAB, against LA and Birmingham. So I do like Ford, even though just that backfield fluctuates a lot. What's Johnny Ford, 5'3"? So he's kind of medium. I like him better than Charles Williams at 8.2. We mentioned Montreal Johnson.
What about Tyler Nevins? for San Jose State. He's averaging 80 yards a game, and he's got 4 touchdowns this year. And he's got 102 carries, so they're not afraid to give him the ball. It doesn't look like he's getting very many receptions though.
What's Devin's price?
5-1.
Yeah, it looks like last week is kind of like when he kind of separated himself from the rest of the running backs. When he ran 28 times, 46 snaps. So yeah, Devin's at 5-1. Definitely plays in the same category as like a Ford Montreal. Maybe a little more of a bump up. Especially if we know that he is now the main man there. I mean,
yeah,
that's the problem with some of these guys. We think we got a guy that's now the bell cow or the horse. And next thing you know, somebody else is coming in. Like they got K.A. Robinson there. He's ran maybe half, not even more than half. I mean, less than half the amount of Nevin. So yeah, that's a good point. I don't mind Nevin's at 5-1 now. They're playing against UNLV. UNLV right now is giving up not bad 150 yards per game. It's pretty much UNLV's bad with the pass defense. But Evans will play. Anybody else? Cameron Carroll. I've given up on Cameron Carroll for Tulane. And he had some great games last year, but you have no idea what we're going to get now. The problem is you got 3 guys here. You got Tyjae Spears, Jenny Booker, Carroll. None of those guys involved. So pretty much hands off those guys. That's just going to be a negative game script. So what you got? I mean,
it's probably too hard to pick between Bird and Camp. That'd be more like a coin flip. Both of them they get about the same touches per game, about the same amount of yards.
That last week too. Well, I think it's one of them's a better receiver. Is it Camp? I can't remember now.
Camp's the better, has more receptions.
Okay, so maybe Camp a little bit. They're price appropriate on 4-5. So I would say if you're kind of building a cash lineup, Chris Smith is probably your top play if you can fit him at 6'6". Charles Williams is too expensive. Bentley, I just think he's not worth it, especially if he's going to be limited or out, which probably moves us over to Trey Siggers. So if I can get Chris Smith and Trey Siggers, and if I'm running a flex, maybe like a Johnny Ford, Tyler Evans type. That's cool. It works. All right, receivers. Who's our top dog here? We got SMU. So SMU right now this is a really good offensive team. I mean, when they went from Shane Buckle to Mordecai, they didn't miss a beat. Now you got probably one of the best receiving corps in the country. When you got guys like Danny Gray, Reggie Roberson, Rashee Rice. Those 3 combined for 64% of their team's production and 17 touchdowns. So it's all about those 3 guys. And then you got the tight end, Grant Calcaterra, who actually has 19 receptions and 3 scores. I don't know what's Calcaterra's price, but you want 1 or 2 of these guys in your main lineup. The problem is, who do you pick when you got Roberson's now expensive. Now he's all playing 7-1. His price has jumped. Probably Danny Gray is grazed down to 6'2". Rashee Rice is 5'9". So let me see. So
Calcaterra is 4'9".
And I like Calcaterra too. He's burned me though, but
probably put 2 of them in there.
I would like to get 2 of them in. I mean, the reason Roberson's probably the highest priced because